Hey everyone, in the next few videos, I would like to share with you my thoughts or like how I look at the human system of how we can maintain our health, why we age, and then why our body breaks down with time. Okay, so I'll start with this idea that I learned from a long time ago by one of my teachers, and maybe I'll add a few elements to it. So he called it the last straw that breaks the camel's back, right? So people live, they do whatever lifestyle and all that stuff, and then things happen to the physical body or to the emotional body or to the mental body. All of these things kind of converge to affect our physiology. And that it affects our nervous system, it affects our mental pattern, our emotional pattern, and all of these things are stored in the body. So from the original state of health, whatever that we were born with and all the resources we have, through this process, we lose internal resources. And then our system, like how we reflect reality, changes with each event that happened along the way. And then, you add in lifestyle and maybe poor eating habits and poor sleeping habits and too much stimulants and drugs and, all sorts of like alcohol and sexual addictions and all that stuff. So all of these things that happen in our walkabout affect our physical body at this particular moment in time. And then many people have latent illnesses that's hidden inside the body, but we don't necessarily see it. So we begin to experience it like a low energy and then an ache here and a pain there. Maybe the kidneys are doing well and the liver is stagnant and what have you. So then we keep going on, holding everything together, and the job is too stressful. We try to hold it all together until that one event that happened. It could be a breakup in a marriage or a loss of job or loss of a family member or what have you, a car accident. And these events break our system. Like it's the last straw that make our system just go. It's the last event that our system cannot hold it together anymore. And then we're bedridden or we could not recover from something for a long period of time. So this is, basically, it's kind of like if you draw it on a chart. It's all of these events that happen to us along the way, and then that one event that shifts us in a drastic way, and that's where like when people can wake up one day and like, oh, I got cancer, or I got diabetes, but all of these things have always been there for quite some years. They kind of build up and they're kind of seeping into the system, in the background and in the body. And sometimes because we are so busy just running around and doing our thing and living our reality, that we don't pay attention to the true state of our being. So, and this is also relating to when we detox. So, when we detox, we are actually shift our body, into a higher state of health. So in that process of shifting into the higher state of health, we have to, open this can of worms that our body have arrived at a state of homeostasis. It means that it find a balance. It doesn't matter how unwell you are, your body will find a balance. So all these hidden diseases, there's a balance in the system. So when you open that up, all of these things will come forward. So depending on how much toxicity we have and how much emotional kind of like holding we have in the body or what have you, when we detox, then it opened up this area so that we can actually, if we are sincere and honest with the process, we would look at it of like, why do I feel this way? Because there's always a reason why we feel a certain way. Because if your body is relatively strong and all that stuff, and doesn't have these latent kind of symptoms inside, you will probably just have a good cleanse and you'll feel good and you have that high. That's the difference, right? Okay. And then like most people would have not even heard about cleansing, or they allow the time or or have invested in doing it. So what they do is that they just walk to the edge of the last straw and they drop. And then all of a sudden, they're bedridden for some months or a year or two, and their body never felt the same as it was before. Where they found out that they have cancer, or they have onset of diabetes or heart disease or what have you. But then all of these things that have always been there probably for some years, if not a decade or two, just depending on how old you are. So what we are doing in the process of detoxing and taking the herb to support the internal system is that we are hoping to shift this graph, this linear road that we're on. And so if we're able to move it to where the future holds health and well-being by doing the things that we need to do. And here's another thing too, because because of commercialism and because of time and money and all that stuff, most people will try to sell you a detox for a day or a week or even a month. Like I had a friend who asked me, how long should a person detox? And I look at her and was like, if you're honest, for the rest of your life. And that's the truth, right? I mean, look at how toxic our environment is. Even when I live here, kind of like 5 or 10 minutes from the road, from the village, and there's like rice field everywhere, still there's a lot of toxicity. It's in the food, in the air. People burn rice all the time and burn plastic and what have you. It's almost unavoidable. And like the nice thing about Bali is that we can live in the open, kind of like camping in a house. But then if you live in the West, in the cold climate, you're basically indoors all the time, in your office, in your home, or what have you, in your car. So you're breathing in a ton of toxicity. And there's the food and water and the lotion and the potion that you put in. All of them have like, something in it, some kind of a solvent, chemicals, or heavy metals even. So the body is bombarded with it. So basically, detoxing is like the only way. I don't really care how you detox, as long as you think that you find a way that works for you. You don't have to use Ming herb. You don't have to use any of my ideas. But just observe. Most people who are unhealthy are usually also toxic. There are very few clean bodies that are diseased or healthy or unhealthy. Just observe. So detoxing is basically like nowadays, I would say that our primary way of staying healthy. Thank you.